Hi everyone, Said here. In my last video I promised that I'll talk about how I use Salesforce for my personal needs. I've been using Salesforce for a very important side project I have for the past 2 years. Basically, I have a side business where I rent out rooms in a couple of townhouses that I own for mainly developers. They can come in for 2 3 months, some come in for 1 year, and they pay rent month to month. And I use Salesforce to keep track of who are my tenants, how much do they pay, when do they move in, where do they work, and how much am I spending on each house, how much did I buy the house for, what repairs did I do on the house, for example, roof, buy some furniture, replace the HVAC system, etc. So basically, I keep track of my revenues and my expenses. And overall, I have a picture of how much money am I making on each house and in total. And Salesforce has been instrumental for me to keep track of all this information. I cannot think of any other tool that would enable me to do the same for free. So I've used the Salesforce developer org for this purpose. Now I'd like to show you how I've done that.
Here's my org. I called it Kensington. I created this org in a dev org, so it's for free. As you can see, it's Salesforce Classic. The key objects for me are accounts, opportunities, and a few custom objects. So let's start with accounts. For me, accounts basically are my houses. Here are a couple of my houses, and I've named the accounts by the address of the house. 1233 Knightswood Road, 6287 Blue Dart Place, etc. So let's look at this account. Here I've indicated the year I bought the house, my monthly mortgage, how much revenue I generate on the house, and what's my return on assets. So I have a very healthy return. And this is the price I paid on the house, and this is the market price of the house. And this is a account type of a house, and here's the description, etc. On each account, I keep track of who is living there. And my tenants are opportunities. The name of the opportunity is the name of the tenant. Example, Shashi. This is how much rent he's paying, and this is the stage. I have activities. Activities are items that I want to accomplish. For example, for this house on 9821 Belcourt, I like to repaint the walls on the first floor. And here are expenses that have happened already. For example, backyard fence, shelves in the basement, closet in the basement, building a wall in the basement, etc. And so here are activities that have happened already: fixing an HVAC, someone moving into this room, buying a clothes hanger. I'm recording what are major assets at the house. For example, a fridge, washing machine, dryer, microwave, a router. Here is a service object. I've been wanting to survey people who are moving out to see what their sentiment is, how they like the experience, things that I can improve. But I haven't, although I've created the survey, I haven't really implemented it. So something to do. So basically this is how I'm using account for my personal project. Okay, so here's the house itself. Here's a link. If I click on this, the house. Here's the exact location of the house. This is how much cash I spent to buy the house, the address, etc. Yeah, so this is a lot of useful information I have on this account record. And all my houses that I have, they roll up to a parent account, which is called All Houses. And on All Houses, I can see how much rent I'm collecting all the houses, how much mortgage I'm spending on all the houses, and how much profit I'm generating overall. So this is pretty good, right? $2,800 of profit. So the description says this is the parent account of All Houses. Here are all the opportunities. These are my tenants. So let's say I open one of the opportunities. Here I can see what their phone number is, the day they moved in. I also have contacts. For contacts, I have two types. One are investors, people I want to reach out to in case I need money. And the other ones are people whom I want to use for different things for my house. For example, a realtor, a lawyer, a handyman, for home inspection, again handyman, etc. So a lot of useful information in this org. One thing I've tried to do in this org is creating a community for my tenants and a community for my investors. And let me show you, it's still in process, but I like to show you my vision of how I see Salesforce helping me make more money in my small side business. So let's look at my communities. So I have two communities. One is for investors, one is for tenants. So let's say you're a tenant, you would go to this community. In here you'd see, I would post some announcements, and here you would have information about how to contact me, and here are the cases you've raised with me. For example, if your shower is not working, you can log your case. So still a lot of work in process, but you get the idea, right? So I have a community for tenants, and here's my community for investors. Alright, so for investors, I've downloaded this leaflet app where I can show my investors where my current houses are. Here and here. Here are the addresses of the house. Here they can see the accounts, scroll through the pictures. So all these, I managed package I downloaded from the App Exchange. Really cool, right? My investors can scroll through the photos of one of the houses, another houses. And here they can see who are my tenants in each of the properties, and my investors can contact me. And here I like to show my investors what are common problems that my tenants are reaching out to me, so that my investors can see whether my business is in good shape. Are these problems small, or are they like serious problems, like there are rats, cockroaches, there are roof leaks, etc. So this is all for the purpose of transparency and building trust with my investors, so that they keep financing me and helping me buy more properties, and hopefully buy larger properties. Basically, you saw my two communities. They're both in process. I have not launched them. I have not started using them, but as my business grows, I would like to. So let's go back to Salesforce Classic. I've downloaded the Salesforce app on my phone. I use it almost daily to see my next rent payment coming. Are my renters paying on time? Did I miss anyone? Etc. Right now I have about 14 tenants. Salesforce is really important for me to see whose rent is due today, who has not paid me. As I have more and more tenants, the importance and relevance of Salesforce will only grow. As you can see, Salesforce is crucial for me. Harness the power of Salesforce for my side business, and I hope you also consider the same. What would be your Salesforce project? Write in your comments. Tell me your Salesforce project. Let's create it. Let's work on it together. I would be happy to help you out. One of the cool things I did, I think, is that when we log an expense, you can indicate whether it was a camp expense. And if it is, let's say I spent $1,000 on it, so call it a test, and the work was great. If it was a cap expense, I created a trigger that would automatically log the expense as an asset. I've been thinking, how can the Salesforce app help me make more money, make sure I'm keeping track of costs? I need to remember what are my assets, and all assets come from expenses. So I thought, let's create a trigger that would automatically record an expense if it's an asset. Also I wrote a workflow rule so that when a due payment comes, an email is sent out. I've even written some test classes because I was trying to package my work, my app, and share it with my friends who are also have a similar business. So I've written test classes and I've achieved the 75% minimum code coverage. So as you can see, there are a lot of things I've learned in the process of creating this app. And there's a lot of value this app gives me. So I hope you similarly create an awesome project in Salesforce that enhances your side business, your hobby, or whatever.